As fans gather for tonight's Commanders game, a mental health awareness activation is set to bring important conversations to the forefront. Dr. Brook Choulet is a board-certified sports and performance psychiatrist. She's here today with critical tools for anyone in need of support. Thank you so much for being here and continuing this conversation that we've often had on this show. But just for those who do not know, what is happening today?
Absolutely. So today at 4 p.m. at the Touchdown Club, the Commanders are hosting a mental health activation, which is pretty new for the NFL in general. And we'll have panelists from the executive director of the APA Foundation and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We'll have representatives from different mental health organizations coming together to talk about mental health in sport.
I love that we're doing this because, again, young people involved with sports, watching the game, even older people, mental health often not discussed, especially among maybe sports fans. So this is vitally important. Tell us why exactly you think it's so important that we do talk about mental health, particularly when it comes to, at a sports setting, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in professional sports settings, the athletes are so isolated. I know on the outside we see the fandom and they have such a glamorous life on the exterior, but internally they're so isolated. They don't have people around them that they can trust. Everything feels transactional, and so it's really important to have environments where we can talk about mental health, like what you should look out for and then how you can help yourself.
Are you finding that people are becoming more open to discussing their mental health issues and challenges?
Yeah, it's been really nice, especially in locker room settings. The guys trust each other, and especially in women's sports too, and so it builds some camaraderie to have a vulnerable space where you can talk about what's going on behind the scenes. And instead of every day saying, hey, how are you? Good, it's like, hey, actually this weekend was rough. Here's what's going on at home, and starting those conversations.
So beyond starting the conversation, what could people do?
Just checking in on people. Like, let's skip the superficial, how are you? Good, right? Like, what was the best part of your weekend? What isn't going so well in your life? How can I help? Asking some of those deeper questions can really hit beneath the surface and give someone the space to say, hey, I'm really struggling with this. Here's how I could use help.
And at what point do you say, okay, it's beyond what I can do. Let me see how I can get them help. At what point does that happen?
Well, I often talk to my patients about when you start to feel like your friend's therapist, right? Like when you start to feel like you're getting into problem-solving mode for them rather than being an empathetic listening ear. Maybe that's the time to pivot and say, hey, here's some resources where you might be able to seek support. And then knowing what levels, right? Like whether it's a 988 suicide crisis hotline, like acute in the moment needs, versus, hey, I need to get connected with a therapist versus a psychiatrist.
I want to go back to the event. So are we talking about panels? Is it interactive one-on-one? Kind of set the scene for me.
Yeah, so there are going to be 2 back-to-back panels from 4 to 4:45. The first one's going to be a fireside chat with Marcus Smith, the former NFL player, and Raul Andrews Jr., Esquire, the executive director of the APA Foundation. And then we're going to have more of a community panel talking about local youth mental health resources following that one.
What impact do you think it has when you see professional athletes speaking openly about their challenges, or even just talking about this issue in general?
It just really normalizes it. So athletes are so used to having to be perfect, having to perform perfectly. And this just gives them the space to say, hey, it's okay to not be okay. And we've seen more and more athletes have podcasts and have different activations and initiatives that they're involved in, really speaking out about mental health. And that makes such a difference, especially to the younger athlete.
And if people cannot make it out today, what information can you give them at least to get them started with this conversation or getting them the help they might need?
Yeah, so the American Psychiatric Association Foundation has resources on its website, and they have a Notice, Talk, Act handout, especially related to sport. So that can be really helpful as well to just start to look out for, hey, if you're a coach or if you are working with youth athletes, here are some signs to look out for, and here are ways you can connect them to help.
Dr. Brook Choulet, how can people get a hold of you? Well, have it right there on the screen. Ask you shall receive.
Through my website, people are shocked to find out that is my real cell phone and email address, so feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to answer any other questions.
Well, we're happy you were here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy holidays to you.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
All right, Tom, over to you.